Good morning, I'm Mark Cunaberti, Board of Directors of the Food Bank in Nevada County and host of Money Management Radio and Money Matters. This morning we're at the Food Bank of Nevada County and we're going to talk about a great project they call Project Hope, where we feed about 80 to 100 low-income kids during the summer. The program runs from about June to first week of August. Come on in. These are our offices here at the Nevada County Food Bank. And here's where Project Hope starts. We have Nico Cunaberti, the director of Project Hope this summer, and Dominic Cunaberti. And if those names sound familiar, that's my wife and my son. So, what's your first order of the day? You pick a menu to feed all the children.
Yeah, we have about 80 kids that we feed, and we have to develop a menu and put it all together, load up the coolers, and drive to the sites.
Now the facility is a little bit empty today because we're all at a food distribution at the Seventh Adventist Church in Grass Valley. So let's take a look inside the freezer and see what you're going to serve for drinks today. So what do you have? And how many do you look for?
Well, we have, like I said, we have 80 kids to feed, so we have juices, and whatever comes in, we have to allocate towards the program.
And then, where do you start to pack all the lunches?
In about an hour or so, around 10 o'clock, and then we have to get it ready by 11:30.
Where are your packing tables?
It's over there in the kitchen. YMCA, we are feeding 25 kids. We have YMCA association. And then we have about 5 coolers, or 6 coolers actually, that goes out. We have to stuff on the lunches.
And then we have a crew of drivers that come in and zip off away, and they all go to different apartment buildings. That takes about an hour, hour and a half. Then they all come back here, and then what? Unpack the coolers, wash them, and do them for the next day. So we're back here in the packing room with Dominic and Chase, who are packing up the menus. And today's menu is what?
There you have it.
Soup, peas, cookies, ham sandwich, yogurt, and a drink. So you have to have one of a drink and a fruit or veggie and grains and proteins, a dairy. Right?
Yeah, well-balanced meals.
A well-balanced
and
meal.
low in sugar.
And low on sugar, of course. During the school days, falls and the spring, we serve about 12,000 snacks a month to school children, to schools all over Nevada County. Okay, we'll go on. And today we're feeding about 95 kids and 25 over at the YMCA to boot. And Dominic and Chase are now segregating about 95 portions of five different meals to put all in lunch bags. And it's a family affair this morning. There's Sadie Cunaberti counting out 95 bags to put 95 lunches in it for 95 kids. Good job, Sadie. Washing the counter, we follow all required safety guidelines to make sure that all patrons get safe and healthy food. So here we are, we've packed all the lunches and now we're going to load them into the coolers for 5 different apartment buildings, with the extras going to the YMCA for their summer program. Then we'll write everything down. We get paid by the government on how many people we feed. And in about an hour we'll take off to the apartment buildings. See you in a bit. So we have a couple of drivers that are starting to load the coolers down. With the van loaded, we're on our way to our distribution points. And with record sheet in hand, in 100-degree weather, we move the cooler to our first distribution point at one of the apartment buildings in Grass Valley. And we're going to the next apartment building, dropping off our volunteer workers, and we'll be on to the third district. Guys, here you go, guys and girls. 1 drink apiece. We made another stop, and there are lots of kids here. And 1 drink apiece. And visit another apartment complex. There's another car dropping off their apartment complexes. A lot of wheels turning to get all this food out. And distribution out of the back of the van to another apartment complex. Very gracious patrons. The totals are made for the U.S. Department of Agriculture and our government support per lunch handed out. One of our volunteers enjoying our just desserts. Delicious food packed with the second crew arriving. How'd it go, guys? All the food given out?
We only have 3 left.
Only have 3 left. Okay, there you go.
And that does it for today's Project Hope. We repeat that every day with the help of our volunteers. You can reach the Nevada County Food Bank at 272-3796. Learn more at moneymanagementradio.com. My name is Mark Cunaberti, thanking you for investing in our community. You can reach the Nevada County Food Bank at 530-272-3796.